it's Grandma Roseanne. We're going to make gorditas. I am excited to do this for you because I didn't even know what they were. I had never tasted them. I had no idea how to make them. And I made them the other day and they were so good that I'm making them again today for you so you can have them for your family. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with 1 pound of ground beef, which I already have in my skillet, and we're going to just cook that down. And you don't want big hunkin' pieces in there, so you want to break that meat down. And then I'm going to show you at the very end, I'm going to show you some variety of what you can do with this. I haven't done it before, but I know it would be just exceptional. So we're going to do that too. And take the time to break that meat down. You don't want gordita meatballs. And if you've never tried this recipe, don't be afraid of it. Don't. It's really, really good. And pretty darn easy too. Now I'm going to put in 1 large russet potato, which I have already cut into like 1/4-inch pieces. And to this I'm adding 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper. And now that we have our seasoning in, we're going to cook it for 8 minutes, at least until all the meat is cooked and it's no longer pink. Our 8 minutes are up, and I'm just giving it another quick stir. Not because it needs it, but because I like to mess around with food. Now to this lovely mixture, we're going to add 1 large tomato, which I have diced. And 1 large onion. And now we want to cook this for 5 minutes. We want to soften the tomatoes and soften the onions. Okay, we have softened our vegetables, and now it's time for our seasonings. Here I have 3 garlic cloves that I minced. 1.5 teaspoons of cumin, 2 teaspoons of flour, wants to stick in the bottom. Now we want to cook this just like another 2 or 3 minutes, because what we're doing is we're cooking the raw taste out of the flour. I'm really excited to make this for you. I know the steam's here, but I'm really excited to make this for you because it was so good. I think your family will love it. And if you don't cook for a family, if you cook just for yourself, make it anyway because it's so good. And I'm going to show you how to do other things with the filling. It really smells delicious. That garlic, the onions, the cumin, oh my goodness. Now to this I'm adding 3/4 cup of room temperature water. Now I'm going to let it continue to cook on medium heat for probably another maybe 5 minutes, and by that time it should be, most of the water would be absorbed, especially it will absorb into those potatoes. And I do want to caution you, I'm giving you measurements, but I know that I ended up being extremely generous on the size potato I had. So I know I'm going to have to cook it a little bit longer. So don't worry so much about time. Pay attention to the food. If that potato isn't cooked all the way through, just give it another few minutes and it'll be fine. But this, for the most part, is done. And go on to the gordita. All right, now we're getting ready to make a gordita. So in here I have 5 cups of Mesa, just like this. You can buy it anywhere where they sell Mexican food. Oh, so many of our grocery stores carry it. If you're in the middle of some city where this is not possible, order it online. Amazon always has it. 2 teaspoons of salt. Now 3 ounces of Colby Jack cheese, which is what I used the last time and it was excellent, but I'm making it this time with cheddar because we like both. Mix that in so your cheese is all incorporated. And to this, we're going to add 3½ cups of water, just room temperature. Give that a good mix. All right, you have to get rid of utensils eventually, so I'm just going to use a bench scraper just to start getting this kind of incorporated. I want all that stuff in there. Got all the mesa from the bottom of the bowl mixed in, and now I'm just going to knead it for a few minutes with my hands. Just get it all incorporated. I love the smell of this stuff. Oh my goodness. I like tamales, not even for the filling, which is what you're supposed to be going after, but I love this part of the tamale. A lot of times I'll just eat that and get rid of the filling. I know it's terrible. There. Okay, we are good. Now we're going to want them about 4½ ounces. Whoa! I'm so impressed. It's right there, 4½ ounces. That was sheer luck. It doesn't have to be 4½ ounces for you. It can be whatever it is, whatever ounce you make. You want to have them all about the same, simply because of cooking time. And if we did this right, there should be about 12 of them. Okay, we did this perfectly because we have 12, and look, just a few crumbs left over. Okay, now we're going to roll these out, but I have a way of doing that that's going to make life so much easier. Get a baggie, cut the sides down, leave the bottom attached. You open it up like this. Now you take one of your balls and you want to compress it just like this. You want to roll it, get it in there tight. Then set it down into your little creation here. Now I have a pie plate here which has a glass bottom, which will make a difference. I'm gonna set that on. I made a little template, which is 4 inches because I'm not a really good judge. And then just start squeezing this down. Just like that. And again, the reason you're doing this is for cooking time. Perfect. Ta-da! All right, now because my nephew is so creative, this is another way to do it, which we decided was even better than the first way. So you take your same pie plate and you put it down. This is a 9-inch round, and just press it and press it and press it like this until you come out with a flat gordita. Then we filled it more towards the edge of it. Add a nice amount of cheese to it. And then using your little plastic wrap here, just start rolling it. And I will tell you right now, I'm not a creative cook. I follow recipes. I would have never done this. He, however, is very creative in the kitchen. So one might ask, well, why are you showing this and why is he not? Because he is camera shy. You want to pinch the edges. because you want your filling to stay in there. Now we're going to let this drain a little bit because it's just came out of a 375 degree oil. And then we're just going to cut it and see if we have created something wonderful. Not we, if my nephew created something wonderful. All right, I think this has cooled down enough for us to give it a try. I'm sure you would just eat it this way, but I want you to see what the inside looks like. Ooh, it's pretty perfect. Can you see that? All right. All right, now this is the unconventional way of doing it, but I'm telling you, I think it's a delicious way of doing it. So I'm just gonna try it. I'm primarily looking, is the cooking time going to be the same? Because when we did it the original way, it was 5 minutes on each side, but now we have a thinner dough, but again, it's being rolled. So I'm just really checking, because I know the filling is perfect, I'm really checking for the doneness of the dough. That is so perfect. It is so perfect. I think my nephew and I are going to always want them this way. A couple of reasons is that you can remake these and freeze them and then fry them when you're ready. That would be wonderful to have a surplus in your freezer. The other thing is that you have all your fillings, so every bite you have a bite of the filling as well as the masa, which I really enjoy. So I'd like to know that there's options, and I like to know that creativity in the kitchen is always wonderful to have. I wish I had more of it. My nephew picked up the slack. So what I did is I got a large, I opened it up, and I set my dough right in the middle, put the top back on, and then I have a pie plate that's clear so I can see what's actually going on down here. And I also cut a template because I want this to be 4 inches round. So I put that in the middle. That tells me where 4 inches is going to be. Okay, we're there. Now, if it has cracked somewhat, like this has, if you can see the edges are a little bit cracked, it really isn't going to make much difference. But if you want to smooth it out, just a little bit of water and just smooth it out. But it's really, in the cooking of it, it's not going to make any difference whatsoever. Put my little template there. And I'm not even going to smooth this one out. Now it's going to go 5 minutes on each side. And this dough is so wonderful, you guys. Honestly, it doesn't stick to the bottom of the fry pan. If you don't have a deep fryer like this, and I think probably most people don't, just put it about 1.5 quarts of oil into a nice fry pan, and you're going to get the exact same result. Okay, now we're going to fill these puppies. So what you're going to do, I'm going to show you 2 different ways of doing it. You can take your knife, insert it carefully into the middle, and you're going to cut about 180 degrees. I'm using a serrated edge here, which is making my life a lot easier. Now we have created a nice little pocket that we can fill. Getting some of the filling. Try not to do what I just did. Try not to overfill it. just like that. Then I'm putting a little bit of cheese, a little bit of lettuce, a little bit of onion, a little bit of tomatoes. There. Now, doesn't that look beautiful? I'm coming around. I want you to see this. Look at that. Oh, that is perfect. All right, we're going to set this aside. And now I'm going to show you the other way we did it. Same thing, you're going to start in the center. But rather than a pocket, we created two halves. Now, why would we do that? Because you can't overfill this one. There. And some lettuce, and some onion, and some tomato, a little bit of cheese. And you put your top back on. So let's talk about the pros and cons of this. When you make the pocket, I think it's really, if you don't drop your tomatoes out, I think it's really pretty. Tomatoes, okay, that tomato doesn't have to be in there. When you make the pocket, I think it's really pretty. I think it's a gorgeous presentation, and we loved it the very first time we had it, because this is how we ate it, the very first one. When you take that first bite, all you're getting is the tomato, onion, cheese, and lettuce. And then by the time you get down to the meat, the vegetable part is gone. So that was kind of counterproductive to what we wanted, because we wanted to be able to enjoy all of it. So we cut it in half. We put all the topping and the fill, put it back on. Now when you eat it, you're able to eat all of it at one time, the fill and the vegetables and the cheese. This was preferable. And then, progressing on, my nephew, who is like so far more creative in the kitchen than I am, said, what happens if we use the same dough and we roll them? Well, why not? So we rolled them, and I showed you what we did and how we rolled them. These were the best. They were the best, honestly. I loved them too, because I think if you're cooking for children, either of these two are very difficult. I know when I was cooking for my grandkids, how many times I had to take the mushed up taco out of their hands and put the fill back in and try to get it back into something and get it into their mouths. Here, they can eat it just like this, so much easier. So I think that of the three methods, I think I go with this one. Now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Roseanne, you said it made 12. I know, we ate the other 4. Yeah, they were so good. Now, what I'm going to do with these is we're going to wrap them up and freeze them. And I think they will be just perfect coming out of the freezer, letting them defrost a little bit, put them into a 350-degree oven for about 15 minutes. Perfect. So with all of that you can experiment with, and if you find out other ways of doing it, let us know, because I'm always open. So with that, just go ahead and know you can enjoy this. Subscribe, come back, love cooking with you. Give me a thumbs up if you had fun, and hit the bell. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me, and come back anytime you would like. I would love to cook with you again. Thank you. Bye.